Hello, folks, and welcome back. I have a treat for you today. Sorry I'm a little late on getting the um, um, stream. I had a break part. It happened. I've been a little busy the last couple of days. A few things. One, hadn't really felt good. I was suffering from either an abscess tooth or a sinus infection, or a combination of both. And then once I got to feeling a little bit better, I ended up having to go do some networking for one of my local clients. We are upgrading their internet service for their small business and stuff like that. So I do apologize, folks, but in real life, customers they have to come first because they kind of put bread and butter on the table. But I know you beautiful people, y'all understand that. But for all of my sins of the Solar Empire lovers out there, I have a beautiful treat for you today. Can you mod the sins of a Solar Empire too? Yes, you can. Can you create your own local mods? Yes, you can. I've been tinkering around with that a little bit behind the scenes. There are a few things that you can do. For those of y'all that have not heard, Sins of the Solar Empire 2 is only available on the Epic Game Store right now. However, if I'm not mistaken, I think Blair said that it would be releasing over on Steam sometime this summer, around June or July, sometime this summer, if I'm not mistaken. With that being said, getting back to today's video, is I'm going to show you what I learned by tinkering around on behind the scenes off camera, as well as the limited information that I was able to find. So far, there are no how to mod videos for Sins of the Solar Empire, but when it gets released to Steam, I'm pretty sure that that's going to happen fairly quick. But anyhow, so how things are set up now, you can create local mods, and they use a website called mod.io. Okay. I use this website myself. Matter of fact, especially with SnowRunner mods. Okay. Now, when you log into your Epic Launcher, which we haven't even logged in yet, we don't really have to, but we're going to go ahead and log in for your sake. And I'm going to show you how to do some things as well. So we'll go ahead and log in. This is Chief's nice, beautiful little Epic Launcher and all that stuff. Let's go ahead and pull up Sins of Solar Empire. It actually needs to be updated. So let's go ahead and do what we can to update that. Okay, yeah. Here we go. So let's go ahead and, there we go. We're going to go ahead and update that real quick. It shouldn't take long to update it. Yeah, the low file, yeah. All right. Now, once you go to the mod.io, all you have to do is sign in with your Epic Store credentials, because it's a part of the Epic. I'm guessing this kind of like Steam Workshop with Epic. So, best I can describe. But you don't have to do that. However, you won't get the benefits of other people's mods, which I'll give you a little cheeky look real quick. Let's see. Sins. There we go, right here. Sins of Solar Empire 2. There are some mods created already on this site. Like I said, I think it's Epic Launchers or Epic Games' equivalent of the Steam Workshop. So. But yeah, there are some mods on here already. I don't know how well the mods play. I haven't subscribed to none, but anyhow, when you subscribe to these mods on the website, and you're signed in, obviously it has to work if you're signed in. Okay, let's go ahead and get that out of the way. Now, when you come back to your game, if you subscribe to the mods on the website, you have to associate your account with it. Like I said, I believe it's Epic's equivalent of the Steam Workshop. I've used it for years. Ever since I first got SnowRunner way back 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago, whenever it was. So with that being said, I can go ahead and turn on my desktop audio for y'all. That way y'all can hear the sounds and the clicks and all that stuff. Okay. All right, we're going to go ahead and skip through all this. All right, there we go. All right, and you just come through here and go forth. All right, now they have added a tab over here called modding. Let's go have a look at that. Now, if you look, you have installed mods, and then you have Modio. That's the website. Okay, now because I have my account associated, I can actually look at all the mods in game. Okay, Titan flagship mode, TEC capital damage upgrades, cheap cost or whatever, and all that stuff, and I can subscribe into it and all that. Now, I do not know if the Steam Workshop or the Steam version of this game, when it comes out on Steam, I do not know if it'll be the same or if it'll be made for the Steam Workshop. I do not know. And then you have your locals tab. Excuse me. I have already done 2 mods so far. Okay, well, like I said, I'm learning how to mod this game based off of my modding experiences from the old game, Sins of a Solar Empire Rebellion. Okay, so you'll have to bear with me. Now, your local mods, you will get a message sort of like that. Okay, sort of like that. Now, I can't highlight it, but I'll read it to you. The modding.allow _not_compatible_mods has been marked true. Now, you do have to do that. So let's go ahead and get out of the game, exit back to the desktop, and we'll go back to that Epic, and you can get out of the way. You're photobombing me. All right, now you do have to do that. Now, in order to find where the mods are stored at on the computer, they used to be stored in My Desktop, My Games, or My Documents, My Games, Sins of the Solar Empire. However, with the Epic launcher and the Epic version, it is stored in local disk, users, Master Chief, or whoever your username is, app data, local, Sins of the Solar Empire. Then you'll have all these beautiful little settings right here. Okay? Now, remember what I said you have to mark that one entity true? That will be under the settings right here, and it will be under the settings file, the settings.json. All right, we're going to go ahead and pull that up. We're going to reload it because I already had it pulled up for y'all. And once again, Notepad++ is your friend. Use that, and you just go to line 279, and you see where it says modding.allow_not_compatible_mods. For you, that's going to be marked just like this. Okay? That's what it's going to look like on your side. So all you want to do is you can just double click on the word and just type in true. Okay? Easy peasy. And then click save. And that's all you got to do for now. All right, now let's get to our folders. Now, before you get all excited, I want to show you something real quick. Yes, this is my hard drive with copies of my games that I own. So I have a vanilla copy of the game in my Steam library or my Epic library, and then I also have, I have a lot more games than this, but the games that I mod is pretty much right here. Because I can mod these games, these copies, and it not affect my original game. Like whenever the game store, whether it's Steam or Epic, updates, it won't break my mods if I'm modding the game directly, like 7 Days to Die, the config files, so forth and so on. But that's for another video. All right, let's go ahead and show y'all how to do this. So bring up your Epic, go to the library, and navigate down to whether you're using the regular version of Sins of a Solar Empire or the test edition. Either one is fine. You want to find these little, excuse me. Sorry about that. You want to find these three little dots right here. You want to go to manage. You want to left click on those three little dots. It'll bring up this window. You want to go to manage. You want to left click on that. Okay, then you want to go right here. It's not quite as easy as Steam, so you got to kind of look, pay attention. You want to look for this section right here. It says installation. See this little folder right here? Careful, don't click on uninstall because it'll uninstall it quick. You want to left click on that. It's going to bring up your Steam folder. We can go ahead and close that out. We can go ahead and minimize Epic. All right. And then here's your installation directory right here. Okay. What we want to do is we can either click this folder right here, or we can click this folder to go up one. Okay. All right. So now you see I've got my Sins 2 testing, and my Sins testing copy, which I don't need that. I can actually delete that one. Let's go ahead and delete that one while we're here. There we go. Easy peasy. All right. But what you want to do is you want to right click on your Sins 2 or Sins 2 testing, whichever one that you are going with. I use the regular vanilla Sins 2, not the testing, but the other one right here, this one. And that's what it looks like on your end if you're using the Epic Store. I don't know if the Steam is going to be any different, but just right click and then just copy, and then come over here to anywhere on your hard drives. I prefer a different hard drive than the hard drive that it's installed on myself, but I'm not going to copy it because I already did. It's right here. Okay. But anyhow, you can go ahead and close this folder out, and it's going to take a minute to copy. Okay. And in here you have all your files for the game, and it's a backup copy of the game that you own. Now, to show you that this works, I'm going to go ahead and go down here, and I'm going to right click. I'm going to go ahead and exit Epic Launcher. Okay. Then I'm going to mosey on down here, and then I'm going to double click on the Sins2.exe. I'm going to just give that a cheeky double click real quick. Then I'm going to get a sip of this coffee while we watch the paint dry. Good coffee, good coffee. Okay, enough paint drying. All right, now we're going to go back in over here. And remember, we just made a copy of our vanilla version of the game. And when I loaded the game up the first time, you remember I loaded that through Epic Launcher. And you just saw me load this game up through the copied version. Okay, now let's go back over here to our modding. If you look, your Modio will be disabled because you don't have your Epic running. Okay? That's fine. We're not worried about that. What we're concerned with is our local right here. Okay? And if you remember, we already set that to true. So we're golden. Now, we already have one enabled and all that stuff, which I can give you a cheeky little load and show you that it works. Okay? And then you'll have to apply changes right here once you do that. But let's go ahead and show you that it does in fact work. Excuse me. Now, what we did is we actually modified, and we'll get to all this. We actually modified the the coal battleship. So now we can build bunches of them, hardly any cost to us. And then we did give a cheeky, well, for some reason the shield points, the hull points, and all that didn't take effect, or we may not have modded them correctly or something. But anyhow, it should be like 5,000 down the board or something like that. But either which way, that's not a problem. But as you can see, for those of y'all that want a little bit of, and you can do this with any units and stuff like that. Okay, but let's go ahead and get out of that. Let's get back to the nitty gritty. All right, so we can go ahead and close this folder out, but instead of me closing it out, I'm just going to kind of shrink it a little bit. And the reason being is because we're going to copy some files from over here, mainly the entity files. But before we get into all that, let's go back to our Sins 2 in our app data folder. Let me kind of, there we go. That way you can see the complete folder path. All right, we're going back up to Sins. Then we're going to go to our mods folder right here. Okay. Now, if you notice, I have two mods, TEC Capital Colony and then TEC Units. Okay. And then I also have an enabled mods dot file, which we're going to go ahead and reload that because I already have these files loaded up. Okay. Now, I have the TEC. Now, I don't know if this is a requirement, excuse me, just yet, but I went ahead and done it anyhow based off of the limited information off of the Sins forums. And it was like one little section and it just made a small reference to this. Other than that, that's it. There was no more information on how to create your own mod. However, that's going to change as it gets released to the Steam version and stuff like that. A lot of your modders might be holding off for that. But there are mod tools that are going to be coming out for this game. Remember, this game is kind of somewhat an early access still. And they're still working on things in the background. But this is just to help you get by to where you can modify things to your own nature and all that stuff. So, just go ahead and create you a file like this. If you want, jump in my Discord and I can give you this right here and you can use it to your leisure or whatever and all that stuff. I don't mind doing that. I just can't do it here on YouTube, just, you know. And I'm not going to stop what I'm doing and go into the video descriptions and all that because I'm lazy, guys. I ain't going to lie, I'm lazy. All right, so we're going to take a look at this TEC Units, which is Trade Coalition or whatever. And if you look at that folder, I have the folder set up like this. Go ahead and create you a folder called Entities. Okay, and go ahead and create you a mod file and all that stuff. I'm going to go ahead and open it with, I'm going to go ahead and associate it with Notepad++. Okay, because that's what I use to create that. Notepad++. There we go. All right. Now, this file right here tells the game, when you load up the game, it tells the description of the mod, short description, the name of the mod, the short description, compatibility version, which we could probably change all that to the game and all that stuff when we load that up here in a minute. Which I also have one here too for the Colony Capital ship. See, they're fairly the same, just a little difference, not much, but fairly the same. And I'm not sure what type of file that is. It's like a metadata file, so just kind of make yours look like that. Now, let's go ahead and move on. And once you've got your entities folder created, okay, go ahead and open it. Now, if you remember our backup copy of the game that we made, or you can pull it straight from the game itself, it does not matter. We are going to look for the entities folder here. We're going to go ahead and open that, or you could just right click and copy it over into this folder right here, and it'll overwrite your entities folder there, and then you'll have all of the entities from all sides and factions and units and all that stuff that are currently in the game as of today. Now keep in mind, these things are going to change over time as the game updates and stuff like that, okay? All right, now let's move along. What I did is I went through here. I went through all these entity files. There's a lot of them. And I started roughly right about here with the trader. Your trader, anti-fighter, trader. That is your TEC faction in the game, okay? And I just went over here and I just selected every one of the trader files, okay? And it might take a minute. I'm just holding left click down. So I'm just holding left click down and dragging through the thing. I went a little too far. But yeah. All right, now. Trader War. All right, and that's it. And just right click and then copy all those over here. And when you do that, then your files should look like mine now. So you should be caught up with what my mod folder looks like, what your mod folder looks like now. So I'm going to give you a few seconds to finish doing that. I'm going to get a sip of this coffee. It's good stuff. It is good, guys. This coffee's good. So the coffee that I have going on for me today is I ran over across the street to the gas station over there, and Miss Lisa and the other awesome cashiers are working today, and I got a fresh cup of hazelnut coffee. Okay. It didn't stop there. I came home, and I also made a pot of coffee, but I went over there and got a fresh cup of coffee because they have the big, long, huge styrofoam cups and all that, has the lid on it and all that. Well, I do have coffee cups with lids on them. It would just take too much effort to go find where it's at. It's probably in the vehicle somewhere. I only have like 2 of them, and they're kind of AWOL right at the moment. But anyhow, so I went and got me a brand new coffee cup with a lid on it, because where I live, there's a buffalo pasture that has buffaloes in it right across the street behind the gas station. And then down the road about a mile, there's chicken houses. While you don't really smell the chicken houses or anything like that, that does not, do any better for the flies. And every time you open the door, it seems like 100 flies fly in here. It's just one of those things, but that's the the perks of living out in the country. But anyhow, getting back to my coffee, so I came home and I throwed a little bit of honey in it also. So now I've got hazelnut honey with a small 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon in there. So now I've got a nice fresh cup of hazelnut honey cinnamon coffee. And guys, let me tell you, it is good stuff. All right. So we've got all this copied over and all that stuff. And as the game progresses and as I actually learn more about modding it myself, then I'll update these videos and stuff like that. We're going to go ahead and just leave that back there. That way we can open up the thing. All right. So you got all your nice, beautiful little files in here and all that good stuff. And this has to do with all of the TEC, tech factions. That's what we call them for short, tech, TEC. Trader, Elite, Edition, Elite, or something. I don't remember exactly what it's called off the top of my head, because we always just call it tech. But this is both the Loyalists and the Rebels, and they have a lot of similarities and stuff like that. Like here's the Rebel, which the Rebels also share the capital ships, pretty much all of the other ships as well. Okay. And with that being said, then when you modify the Loyalist, you also modify the Rebel faction as well. So keep that in mind, guys. Now, there's a way you can go in there and separate the ships out where the Rebels have their version of the tech ships and the Loyalists have their version of the tech ships, and you can go in and change. But that's not the purpose of this video today, because that's a more in-depth video on modding and stuff like that, and I'll get to that eventually, just not today. That way you can separate all of the ships. You have loyalist versions, and then you have the TC, the rebel versions of the ships. Okay, but the only thing that's really exclusively different will be maybe a few different ships, one or two, but the Titan is what distinguishes them from each other more than anything, and the different versions of tech. So, you know, they're not the same faction, but they're part of the human race. They do their own thing. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to find our trader capital battleship, which that's this unit right here, which I already have that up. Okay. Now, here's the build time right here from line 755 down to line 772. Okay. Now, if you notice, let me kind of stretch this up a little bit. That way we can look at the whole section together without y'all trying to bob and weave your head. From the build section, the build time is 2 seconds. It's 7 credits, 7 metal, 7 crystal. Now, the exotic price, you don't really have to do anything but change those to zeros. That's it. That's all you got to do is just change them bad boys to zeros, and you're good to go. Now, this here is how much it cost for your fleet supply cost. We made that to 5. Okay? Now, don't mess with the max ship component and all that stuff because it is what it is. Most of that's hard coded. You're not gonna you'll crash the game. So don't mess with that. For this purpose, we're just messing with these right here, from here to there. That's it. That's a 5, 0, 0, and then 7, 7, 7, and then 2 seconds. And you can change those numbers to whatever you want. Bob Ross it. This is your world. This is your mod. You can change it however you want to. Okay. Now let's go up here and we're going to check our ship hull points, which we got to go up. We're scrolling up. Yeah, see, that's the maximum hull points. I'm thinking that this is the higher level the ship gets. If you notice, the max ship points is 5,000, so forth, and all that stuff. All right, now we're getting to some more numbers where we first start out. So, yeah, okay. All right, so release time after death, health, max shield points. Let's go ahead and make that a nice, good 5,000. Okay, we're going to go ahead and copy that. And what I did, I just double clicked. I'm going to double click right there, paste. I'm going to double click right there, paste. Double click right there, paste. And I think this is starting out. And then when you level up, these numbers obviously will change, and also depending on your but we're just gonna make them all 5,000 for this video's sake. Let's see. Yeah. Yep. All right, let's see. Let's go ahead and make that a nice 5,000. All right, so everything's 5,000, okay? Now let's go ahead and scroll through and see, is there anything else that, well, we can go ahead and make that a 5,000 too, because apparently we overlooked that. That's not a problem. All right, so we should be good to go. We're not going to worry about the armor points because, I mean, it is what it is. All right, now, this here is spawn loot, unit, ship loot, loot name, trader capital, ship loot name, experience given 200. I think that this has to do with whenever you capture entities in game, such as derelict space stations, then that's what it gives you or something like that. I'm not quite sure. Like I said, Blair has changed things up a little bit. So with that being said, things are going to be a little different. Now, the weapons systems I do know is going to be different as well. Okay, to give you an example, this here is the autocannon, which is a child turret mount. Okay, that's the position on the model right there. The position where it's set on the model and the direction that it's facing and so forth and so on. Okay, this is the angle. That's as far as it can pitch forward or backward or whatever and so forth and all that. But that is in a later video and stuff like that. So let's continue back up here and let's see what we got. And those are going to be in a different section to, if I'm not mistaken, they're going to be they're going to have their own entity file. Yes, right here, like light autocannon battle capital ship. That's going to be right here, which tells how fast the projectile goes and all that stuff. And you know what? We might go ahead and tinker with that here a little bit. Let's get back to our capital ship. All right, so trader, medium. I don't think it actually. Yeah, yes, it does. Right there. There it is. Right there. Trader, battle capital ship, light autocannon. Okay. So yeah, that's it. So we'll come back to that file here in just a few more minutes. So we already have it up. All right, let's see. User interface, selection priority can ever be selected. That's a new code right there. So I'll have to experiment with that. Can move true, can attack true. Let's see, attack priority 50. I'm not sure that has to do something with another file that's associated with the priorities. A lot of times Blair used numbers to identify like fighters, corvettes, frigates, capital ships, and so that I'll have to dig through that later on. Not today though. Let's see, minimum target speed, minimum target distance to target, follow distance. Here's your speed for your hyperspace. Charge time, 8 seconds. So yeah, it's just a few little things that you can do. Physics, you move linear. Yes, this changes your movement, physics when your movement, strafe, and so forth, and all that stuff. But you can tinker with all this stuff on your own and all that stuff. All right, so we're going to go ahead and save this because we mainly got what we wanted. All right, let's go ahead and go over here and let's look at the autocannons for this ship. This is the entity file for the autocannons. All right, now let's see. Well, what do we got? All right, that's the pitch speed. That's the yaw speed. Pitch firing tolerance. Pitch fired. Range 55. Cooldown. You know what? Let's go ahead and drop that down to 1. That's going to make things interesting. Let's see. Damage, penetration, projectile travel speed. Let's go ahead and kick that up to 5. We're really going to see this thing get after it. All right, let's see. Turret, biaxial, turret mount, biaxial. That has to do with the actual 3D model on the mesh itself. That's the actual how this is. You have your base mesh. Well, it's going to be called something different if you're getting into modeling, but for tutorial purposes here, you have your main model, which is the ship. Okay, then you have these child models, which is its own model that is attached to the main ship model, and that's what all these numbers allows it to move, rotate, and stuff like that. Okay, so all right, cooldown duration. All right, range. All right, so let's go ahead and save this bad boy right here. All right, now we can go ahead and give it a nice little load. Let me fix my thing over. I don't know what's going on over here, but it likes to do that from time to time. All right, now make sure that's my live stream list that I'm actually putting together for you guys. If you notice, Sins of Solar Empire 2 is not even on here yet, but I'm trying to get a more consistent stream that works with my in real life clients and stuff like that. Let's see, settings. Remember, make sure that you have this in your settings file, which I showed you how to do at the beginning of the video. That's set to true. We can go ahead and close that file out. Okay. And then you have your enable mods. I don't know if you need it. I don't know, but we're going to try something just to see here in just a minute. We're going to go ahead and leave that open. And then your mod underscore meta underscore data, that just gives you a description of the mod. Let's see, this one here is for the unit price. I'm gonna put, for right here, I'm gonna put live stream. There we go. Okay, and then I'm gonna Control S to save it. All right, now let's go up. Okay, let's go up to our mods, and I'm going to go over here to the colony ship, and I'm just going to try something real quick. Okay, so you don't have to try this, but I'm going to try it. So with that being said, hold that thought. Okay. Let's see. There we go. All right, we're going to make that 2 seconds. We're going to make that 2. We're going to make that 2. We're going to make that 2. Then we're going to make this 0. 0. You see where I'm going with this, don't you? All right, we're going to make that 5 also. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and save that. That's in a totally different mod. Okay, now these entity files, they're not going to be in my version of the TEC units because I went ahead and brought them out of there. I've got the frigates, but not the capital ships because I wanted to see if this would work. All right, now let's go ahead and load up our scenes. Okay. All right, let's go to our modding. Remember, if you're running the copied backup version that I gave you, the Modio is not going to be active for you if your Epic launcher is shut down. That's how that works. All right, that's installed right there. All right, let's go over here. And that's the TEC units. Okay. We have those installed. Okay. Now let's go ahead and jump in the game real quick, and we're going to make sure that that's installed. And then we're going to try to activate that other mod. But we want to jump in game real quick and make sure. Now this is free. I'm going to go ahead and build that one. Now you know it's free, and it says supply cost is 50. And then whatever else that it may require and stuff like that. Okay. But these right here are still working. Okay, so that mod's still working. All right, so now what we want to do is we want to go ahead and quit game, close. Let's go ahead and go back to mod, and let's go ahead and go to this one right here. This is the one that I just changed. We're going to enable that. Okay, now we're going to go back to install. Now we're going to apply changes. So now both of them should be installed. Okay. Now let's go ahead and give that a little cheeky test real quick and see. Okay. Let's go ahead and build a couple of those. All right. Let's go ahead and get these out of our way. Yeah, y'all get out of our way. Yeah. Y'all go over there. All right, now let's see if this is installed now correctly. Look, you see right there under the name, it says supply cost. All right, so there you go. So if you don't want to, if you want to just basically edit different aspects of the game, then you can just name the folder a short name of what the mod is, and you can enable and disable it without having to go in and change files. So that gives you freedom right there. Now, while that's up and going, let's go ahead and jump over to our Windows real quick. And let's see, I don't know why that does that, but it does. Stop it. All right. Let's go to our enable mods. Did it change that? No. So that kind of leads me to believe that you really don't need the enabled mods file. I just created one just to make sure. But obviously we were able to load the other mod up without adding the name of that mod into that file. So there you go, guys. That's a small, quick tutorial. I'll get it said right here in a minute. I'm a little tongue-tied today. Of how to create your own local mod for Sins of the Solar Empire for the version 4 Epic Launcher. And as I learn more about modding and things like that, and I'm pretty sure there's a way to do it where you can actually change out different meshes and stuff like that for different ships and things like that. How to do it, I don't even know if the meshes are actually the same type. Let's just use this one. Yeah, see, the tools to decompile this from the bin file format, the Zen, isn't available yet for us to the public. I'm pretty sure it's available to people like Parallax Studios and people like that make these beautiful, huge mods and stuff like that. We just don't have them for our copy of the game yet. So we have to wait for that, guys. I'm sorry, but it is what it is. And as soon as I get that, then I will definitely do a tutorial on that. So, guys, if you have any questions or comments, definitely leave them below, and I will answer them. And also, if you want any copies of these files or whatever for your own use, join my Discord, find me in there and stuff like that, or just drop some comments in the videos below. And guys, if you like these tutorial videos that I'm putting out for y'all to help y'all kind of create your own mods for games and stuff like that, show me some love, give me a like and a subscribe, and I'll definitely keep them coming to you. But anyhow, folks, I'm gonna end this stream here. Happy gaming and happy modding.